Welcome to the global convocation ceremony of the Aga Khan University. My name is Kulsum Ghayas. I'm an associate professor and chair of the Department of Biological and Biomedical Sciences in AKU's Medical College in Karachi, and I will be one of your two MCs. I'm a researcher whose work focuses on cancer, bioethics, and best practices in medical education. I'm also part of the team that teaches our medical students during their first 2 years and trains graduate students. I love Convocation because it's a reminder of how much our students learn and grow during their time with us. It is a proud moment for our entire faculty.
And my name is Gitonga Mbijiwe. I am the Director of Strategic Initiatives at AKU's Graduate School of Media and Communications in Kenya, GSMC for short. And I also will be your MC. My colleagues and I at GSMC provide journalists, communicators, and media leaders with the tools they need to succeed.
I know we all wish we could be celebrating our graduates together in person. Unfortunately, the pandemic made that impossible. But we decided to turn challenge into opportunity by organizing a convocation unlike any other in our history. For the first time since the founding of AKU in 1983, we are bringing together all of our graduating classes in 5 countries in one global ceremony. This event is being broadcast live across our campuses and to thousands of viewers around the world. Thank you to everyone for being part of our biggest convocation audience ever. We hope technology stays on our side throughout the program.
It is our pleasure to recognize all those who are participating in this historic occasion. Our Chancellor, His Highness the Aga Khan, the Chairman and members of the Board of Trustees, our Chief Guest, Melinda French Gates, President Firoz Rasool, Provost and Vice President Academic Carl Amrine, distinguished faculty and staff, friends of the university including our donors, supporters, partners and volunteers, family members of the graduates and, above all, the members of the graduating class of 2020.
Our graduating students would also like to welcome you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Karibu.
And good evening.
Today we're celebrating our graduation from the Aga Khan University.
We are coming to you live from Karachi, Pakistan, Nairobi, Kenya, Kampala, Uganda, and Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
We extend a very special welcome to our parents and families. We know your hearts are full of pride today.
We thank the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees for joining our celebration. We know that the university has greatly benefited from your wise stewardship.
We also welcome to our professors and AKU staff. Your enthusiasm and dedication has made our education an unforgettable experience.
Hello to the AKU alumni, friends, partners and supporters who are watching from around the globe. Thank you for helping to make our education possible.
Our fellow graduating students from each country would also like to greet the audience.
The class of 2020 welcomes you from Pakistan.
A warm welcome from everyone in Kenya.
Greetings from the class of 2020 in Tanzania.
Hello from all of us in Uganda.
Greetings from the class of 2020 at the Institute for the Study of Muslim Civilizations.
Our program today will consist of 2 parts. In the first segment, we will hear from our President Firoz Rasool, our Chief Guest Melinda French Gates, our Chancellor His Highness the Aga Khan, and our student valedictorians Anam Ehsan and Scovia Masudio. Our Provost and Vice President Academic Karl Amrine will announce the recipients of this year's University Awards of Distinction, and we will also present our student awards for outstanding academic achievement.
The second part of the program will consist of the individual graduation ceremonies in each country. At these ceremonies, the graduates will receive the degrees and diplomas for which they studied so hard and worked with such dedication. We will now begin our program. I request the Chancellor, His Highness the Aga Khan, to please declare the convocation of the class of 2020 open.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I declare the convocation ceremony of the Aga Khan University for the graduating classes of 2020 open.
Thank you, Your Highness. I call upon Dr. Bilal Ibrahim from the Aga Khan University Medical College class of 2019 to deliver the tilawat and translation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا صدق الله العظيم. In the name of Allah, most beneficent, the most merciful, and hold fast all together by the rope which God stretches out for you, and be not divided among yourselves. And remember with gratitude God's favor on you, for you were enemies, and He joined your hearts in love, so that by His grace you became brethren. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ.
I call upon Dr. Nuru Kondo from the Master of Medicine in Family Medicine program in Tanzania to deliver the invocation.
A reading from Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verses 6 to 8. God has also given each of us different gifts to use. If we can prophesy, we should do it according to the amount of faith we have. If we can serve others, we should serve. If we can teach, we should teach. If we can encourage others, we should encourage them. If we can give, we should be generous. If we are a leader, we should do our best. If we are good to others, we should do it cheerfully. Lord, on this day of convocation, we take time to thank you and all of those who have been a part of our education at Aga Khan University. We thank you for the many gifts you have given us. We know that all our blessings come from you. Help each of us take time to recognize our gifts and work toward developing these gifts. May we be willing to reach out to others and share all that with which we have been blessed. It is in helping others that we gain joy and fulfillment here on earth. Amen.
I request Mr. Feroz Rasool, President of the Aga Khan University, to deliver the welcome address.
His Highness the Aga Khan, Chancellor of the University, our chief guest, Melinda French Gates, Chairman Haile Debas, and members of the Board of Trustees, Provost and Vice President Academic Karl Ammerhein, faculty, staff, alumni, donors, partners and friends, and family members, and most importantly, our graduates. Assalamu alaikum, hamjambo, karibuni. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today is a historic day for the Aga Khan University. Thanks to the power of technology, we are conducting our first ever global convocation ceremony, simultaneously across 13 time zones. And we're bringing together our graduates, their family members, and AKU's faculty and staff in 6 countries, our trustees in 9 countries, and our friends and well-wishers in countless locations across the world. Only a uniquely international institution like AKU could connect so many people across so many borders and boundaries. I am very grateful to the teams in several countries who have made this possible. An occasion like this deserves a chief guest with a truly global vision, influence, and reputation. And no one fits that description better than Melinda French Gates. We are extremely grateful for her participation, which I know will be an inspiration to our graduates. This ceremony marks the end of the class of 2020's journey at AKU and the beginning of its next adventure. And it punctuates a year unlike any other in the lives of our graduates or the university's existence, a year of formidable challenges and momentous achievements. The path the graduates walked was winding, steep, and strewn with obstacles. But they navigated it with courage, agility, and perseverance that are the hallmarks of true AKU leopards. Graduates, you passed the test of 2020 with flying colors. Nothing can stop you now. This is a unique moment in the world's history. It is an extraordinary time to be graduating. The pandemic has robbed millions of their lives and even more of their livelihoods. But it has also inspired unforgettable acts of sacrifice, solidarity, innovation, and ingenuity. And it has opened our eyes to the selfishness and inequity that continue to disfigure our world. In exposing harsh realities to public view, the coronavirus has planted the seed of transformation in our midst. More and more people are asking themselves a simple but profound question. What can I do to help? How can I make a difference? Certainly, that question has been resonating in our thoughts here at AKU. Before I proceed, I would like you to hear how some of our faculty and staff are answering it.
I'm using artificial intelligence to identify high-risk pregnancies in low-income communities. That way, we can get pregnant women the care they need before it's too late.
My goal is to develop new tools for fighting malnutrition. Our research involves using stem cells to grow mini intestines, which we can study in the lab.
I'm helping lead the largest study on the genetic basis of mental illness in Africa. it could lead to the development of new treatments for schizophrenia and bipolar disorder.
How do Muslim artists reconcile their ethical and aesthetic ideals with their desire to contribute to popular culture? I'm finding answers by studying Islamic pop superstars like Maher Zain.
My colleagues and I in Nairobi helped show that a drug called tocilizumab can be used in patients with severe COVID-19 pneumonia. This has since been adapted by the National Institute of Health in the US to treat patients with COVID-19 pneumonia.
I'm fighting cancer as Kenya's first female breast cancer surgeon, and I'm hoping to pave the way for other women to achieve their ambitions.
AKU's Cancer Center in Nairobi is one of the few centers in sub-Saharan Africa capable and equipped to conduct novel clinical trials in oncology. That means treatments that were only available in the West will now be available and accessible to our patients here.
At least 22 million children are out of school in Pakistan. We are working on partnering with communities to increase enrollment and also testing the effectiveness of accelerated curricula.
We're training some of the very first advanced practice nurses in East Africa.
And we plan to prepare our first advanced practice nurses in Pakistan.
Because they will increase access to high-quality healthcare.
We launched the AKU Teachers Academy to promote teaching excellence at the university. It's the first initiative of its kind in Pakistan or East Africa.
We contributed to the CanSino Bio COVID-19 vaccine trials. Now millions of doses are being delivered around the world.
We just saved the life of a young boy by giving a cutting-edge gene therapy drug. I want to make sure that people in Pakistan and East Africa have access to the latest advances in genomic medicine.
The AKU Examination Board is an awarding body for school leaving qualifications in Pakistan, where we produce high-quality standardized tests that requires students to think critically. Over 90% of our students go on to university.
That's the difference I make.
I make.
I make.
That's the difference we make.
Together.
That's AKU.
Malnutrition, lack of education, gender inequality, chronic illness, these are daunting problems. As part of the Aga Khan Development Network, the AKU is tackling all of them and many other issues with fearlessness and creativity that have defined the university for the past 38 years. And today, the 667 members of the class of 2020 are joining this fight. They're part of a new generation. The men and women of this generation are the most educated in history, with many being the first in their family to attend university. They possess the confidence that comes with their immense numbers, for in much of Africa and Asia, the young constitute a majority of the population. Born into the digital era, they're at home, online, and eager to make full use of technology's potential. Crucially, they know the remarkable feats and unity of purpose that make a great undertaking that can inspire. For in 2020 and 2021, they have risen to every occasion, and so has AKU. Day after day, our health professionals have masked up, donned their protective gear, and bravely served on the front lines. Even as I speak, they are doing so, and all of us have worked by the light of their example, seeing in them models of compassion and dedication. AKU's researchers have helped to deliver new tools in the battle against the pandemic. Our genetic sequencing capabilities have put us at the forefront of testing and tracking new viral mutations. We contributed to multiple international clinical trials of drugs and vaccines in partnership with leading universities and pharmaceutical companies. We met challenges with innovation, 3D printing of nasal swabs, and building our own UV light device to sterilize hospital spaces. When lockdowns were imposed, our faculty and staff worked around the clock to ensure that students could continue learning online, including providing connectivity and laptops where needed. And where circumstances allowed, we brought our students safely back to campus. When governments requested our help in training public sector doctors and nurses caring for COVID patients, we leapt at the opportunity. Our online courses have reached more than 22,000 individuals. And our hotline enables doctors at other hospitals to get AKU's advice on caring for severely ill COVID patients. We are profoundly grateful to all those who made such achievements possible. In a time of endless strains and stresses, our faculty and staff continued to meet the highest standards. At every turn, our alumni, former staff, volunteers, and students asked, "How can we help?" The support of our partners has been indispensable, including that of development agencies such as Global Affairs Canada, the German government's BMZ and KfW, and AFD, the French Development Agency. Organizations such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Dawood Foundation, the Johnson & Johnson Foundation, the Conrad Hilton Foundation, among others, and universities such as Harvard, the University of Virginia, the University of California, San Francisco, and Columbia University, as well as Brown University. Despite a worldwide recession, our donors have been selfless in their generosity. Their gifts have enabled AKU to provide its most disadvantaged patients with life-saving care, to offer scholarships to students, to build new facilities, to purchase vital equipment and PPE, and to launch new academic and research programs. Of course, our foremost gratitude is to our founder, chancellor, and chief benefactor, His Highness the Aga Khan. His wisdom continues to guide us, and his vision continues to inspire us, as they have since the university's inception. This is my last convocation as president of the Aga Khan University. Over the past 15 years, I have watched our remarkable graduates go on to make impactful contributions to education, science, healthcare, culture, society, and governments around the world. I look back with great pride and satisfaction on what the university has achieved through the efforts of the outstanding people who are part of AKU. This team is my greatest legacy, and I would like to welcome Suleiman Shahabuddin as the incoming president who will inherit this great team. I am extremely grateful to His Highness the Aga Khan for giving me and Saida the opportunity to serve AKU under his guidance and direction. I'm grateful to the chairman and trustees for their sage counsel and advice. I'm grateful to my colleagues at AKU for all the joint learning, discovery, and knowledge, and for the compassion, commitment, and courage, and for obviously all the wonderful friendships. Graduates, there are special generations in history, those that won independence for Africa and Asia, that gave us the world's first democracies, that laid the foundations of modern science. They are the ones to whom a great task is entrusted and who respond with unquenchable enthusiasm. I believe your generation can be one of these, and that as members of the Aga Khan University class of 2020, you can lead the way. You can be at the forefront in the building of independent intellectual and scientific capacity that will enable Asia and Africa to tackle the biggest challenges facing them and the wider world as well. The education you have received has prepared you to compete and collaborate with the world's best. Throughout your time at AKU, you have awed us with your hunger for knowledge, your pioneering spirit, and your agility in the face of change. Only one question remains for each of you to answer. What difference will I make? I know I speak for everyone watching this ceremony around the world when I say that we cannot wait to learn your answers. Thank you.
Thank you, President Rasool. I would now like to introduce our own alumna and former Chair of Pediatrics and Child Health at AKU, Dr. Anita Zaidi. She is a member of our medical college's first graduating class, the class of 1988, and was the first ever recipient of the college's Gold Medal Award. Dr. Zaidi is currently President, Gender Equality and Director, Vaccine Development and Surveillance and Enteric and Diarrheal Diseases Programs at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I request that Dr. Zaidi introduce our chief guest, Melinda French Gates.
Greetings and Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to this special day. 32 years ago, His Highness the Aga Khan told my graduating class at the first AKU Medical College Convocation that, quote, "My goal is that the Aga Khan University should be one of the world's resources in health problems of mothers and children. Your Highness, you have succeeded." AKU is now an internationally renowned university, a world-class teaching and research institution benefiting millions of people around the world. It's a network of hospitals recognized for their excellence and a beacon of knowledge, advocacy, and action for mothers' and children's health. The learning instilled here among its students changed so many lives for the better, including my own. I was inspired by my AKU teachers, by the little patients I took care of, and my time working in communities as an AKU medical student of the class of 1988 to dedicate my life and my career to the well-being of women and children. The woman I am proud to introduce today, Melinda French Gates, shares this dedication. Melinda cares deeply about women and girls all over the world. She recognizes that empowering them transforms the health and prosperity of families, communities, and societies. And as co-founder of the world's largest philanthropic foundation, she has been working tirelessly to ensure that the best innovations, resources, and research are applied to improve their lives. She co-founded the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on a very simple premise, that people everywhere, regardless of identity or circumstances, should have the same chance to live healthy and productive lives. What I find truly remarkable about Melinda is that she intuitively grasps both the technical and human aspects of delivering progress around the world. She is as committed to advancing scientific understanding to deliver better solutions for people everywhere as she is about increasing opportunity for women and girls to lead healthy and fulfilling lives. She never gets lost in abstraction and never loses sight of mothers and children in need. I feel privileged to work with her and to introduce her today. ladies and gentlemen, my colleague and friend, Melinda French Gates.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to join you today. And thank you, Anita, for the kind introduction. Anita does an amazing job as the president of our Gender Equality Division and the director of our Vaccine Development Program at the Gates Foundation. Aga Khan University alums are represented at the highest levels of our foundation. I also want to thank His Highness, the Aga Khan, Chairman DeBoss, and the Board of Trustees, President Rasool, Provost Amrine, for inviting me today and for their hard work in making Aga Khan University an exemplary institution. From leading surveys on nutrition and maternal and child health research in Pakistan and Kenya, to helping introduce multiple vaccines where they're so needed. Aga Khan University is not only a global resource, it's a transformative force for public health and women's health. So thank you to everyone who has worked to make AKU such a success. The administration, the faculty, the many donors who have supported the university over the years. Most of all, I want to congratulate today's graduates on their impressive achievement, as well as the parents and relatives here today to share in this joyous occasion. I particularly want to recognize the many who are the first in their family to earn a degree. Even though today is just one step in your journey, you have already accomplished an amazing feat. Congratulations. And I'm especially delighted to see a graduating class that is more than 70% women. As graduates of AKU, you join a remarkable group of women and men who are changing lives for the better all over the world. And let me tell you, the world desperately needs your energy and your leadership. We are nearly a year and a half into the biggest global public health crisis in a century. And even as vaccines roll out, the pandemic still threatens millions of families across the planet. And along with sickness and death, COVID-19 has disrupted economies and it's shattered livelihoods. So after years of declines, poverty and hunger are on the rise. Basic life-saving fundamentals of good health have become even harder to come by. Childhood vaccination rates were set back 25 years in just 25 weeks. And women, who make up 70% of the global health workforce, are bearing the brunt of the economic pain unleashed by this pandemic. Their jobs and economic security have been disproportionately devastated, even as they continue to handle most of the child and family care. So let me be clear, the only way the world will rebound is by putting women at the center of recovery efforts. And we need more leaders everywhere to make that case and act. And that's why I'm so inspired to be here today. You, the graduating class of 2021, are the leaders we need. Wherever you go, whatever you choose to do with your degree, I have tremendous faith that you will be the architects of a better, fairer, and more equitable world. We're proud of our partnership with AKU over the years, including eradicating polio and other infectious diseases, improving maternal and child health and nutrition, reducing stillbirths, and most recently, helping nurses respond to COVID-19. I can't wait to see the positive change you'll bring. Congratulations, graduates. Let's go out and make a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda French Gates. Your immense efforts to summon a moment of lift for people everywhere, and especially for women, are remarkable. It is my honor to now request that our Chancellor, His Highness the Aga Khan, address the convocation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our chief guest, Melinda French Gates, Chairman Halid Abbas, and the members of the Board of Trustees, President Firoz Rasool, Provost, Deans, faculty, and staff of the university, generous donors and well-wishers of the university from around the world, distinguished guests, parents, family members, and graduates. It is a great privilege to join you today in recognizing and celebrating the class of 2020. I do so in circumstances unlike any the world has faced in my lifetime, reminding us all how vital, how essential nurses, doctors, researchers, and teachers are to our collective health and well-being. And so, to our graduates, I begin by thanking as well as congratulating you. Each of you has chosen a path of service to humanity that is admirable and necessary. We are honored on this occasion by the participation of Ms. Melinda French Gates. Through her leadership, the Gates Foundation has helped improve human health, advance economic development, and empower women and girls across the globe. The long-standing partnership between the agencies of the Aga Khan Development Network and the Gates Foundation has featured collaboration in each of these areas, working together in Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and East Africa. In the light of this special relationship, we are particularly pleased to welcome her to this convocation. For decades, both the Aga Khan Development Network and the Gates Foundation have devoted significant effort to improving health and health systems. Indeed, this university was founded upon the conviction that the quality of healthcare professionals is fundamental to any progress in these domains. It therefore gives me great pride to see the response of AKU and its hospitals during this pandemic, undertaken with the generous support from the Gates Foundation and others. I salute the courage of AKU's healthcare staff and administration, who have worked tirelessly through months of crisis, braving these difficult times with fortitude and resolve. The university has made a critical difference, advising national governments, training public sector medical staff, working with teachers and schools, raising awareness through media and journalism, and doing everything possible to treat patients and to save lives. I would also like to recognize the resilience and agility of our university faculty and students. In these challenging times, all of you have shown impressive adaptability, dedication, and perseverance. Thank you. AKU's contributions represent another chapter in the long story of great universities that have helped to guide the world through the turbulence of history. The global pandemic response has been built on decades of earnest research, often conducted in relative obscurity, but making possible the development of new tests, tracing strategies, therapies, and vaccines. While we should regret the unequal distribution of these achievements, we must also appreciate the intellectual triumph that their development represents. Melinda French Gates and the Gates Foundation have played a crucial and catalytic role. As you know, AKU researchers have also been part of this progress, identifying and tracking new COVID mutations, assessing vaccines, and evaluating therapies. AKU aims to be as relevant for the next global health crisis as it has been for this one. Today, AKU is building its capacity for cutting-edge research applicable to the distinctive health risks for populations in Asia and Africa. It will seek to harness the enormous potential of advances in artificial intelligence, genomic medicine, and stem cell science to address tomorrow's challenges as well as today's. Translating this potential requires more than innovation. It requires professionals capable of complex judgments in balance with the cultures and traditions of these regions. This is why AKU is evolving into a comprehensive university, active in the humanities and the social sciences. As our thoughts turn to the future and the bright potential of AKU and its graduates, I must pause to reflect on this moment of significant transition. Today's convocation makes a meaningful juncture in our university's history. For only the third time since our founding in 1983, AKU will have a new president. As you all know, President Rasool has asked to retire, and I have reluctantly agreed, understanding how important it will be for Firoz and Saida to spend the coming years with their children and grandchildren in Canada. Under Firoz's leadership, our university has known remarkable growth in the past 15 years. New facilities, new campuses, new faculties, and impressive new technologies. The university has also grown as a leading academic and intellectual force. AKU graduates are reaching the highest levels of qualification and accomplishment. It is most gratifying to see that some of them are now returning to AKU as faculty and leaders. These achievements are a source of great happiness for our trustees and me. President Rasool's impressive accomplishments have given us the confidence to broaden our horizons and expand our aspirations of excellence. With these aspirations in full view, I have appointed Suleiman Shahabuddin as president of AKU. Suleiman, who began his career at AKU 35 years ago, is coming home, along with his wife Zinat, who is a graduate of the university and holds a PhD in nursing. I have known Suleiman for many years. He has been the regional CEO of the Aga Khan Health Services in East Africa for a decade, and previously CEO of the Aga Khan hospitals in Kenya and Tanzania. I have been continually impressed by his commitment, his capacities as a leader, and his continuing dedication to learning. Please join me in welcoming them back both to AKU. I spoke earlier of transitions. You came to this convocation as students. At the end of today's ceremonies, you will be graduates of the Aga Khan University, stepping into new roles and new responsibilities. I am confident that the class of 2020 will walk in the footsteps of your fellow alumni as leaders in the pursuit of excellence, wherever your path may lead you. As you start that journey, this is a day for all of us to renew our commitment to an ever more hopeful future, one that will be richer in the products of human ingenuity, more just in their distribution, and more abundant in respect and compassion for one another. I offer you my sincerest congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Highness, for your address to the convocation. Convocation is a day for our graduates, but it is the members of the university faculty and staff who guide the learning that ultimately culminates in convocation. It is therefore appropriate that we take a moment to appreciate their contributions. I will ask our Provost and Vice President Academic Carl Amrine to announce the recipients of this year's University Awards of Distinction.
Jambo, Assalamu alaikum, and Karabuni. It is my honor to hereby recognize the heart and soul of the Aga Khan University, its faculty and staff. The title of Professor Emeritus or Professor Emerita is awarded to retiring faculty members who have made outstanding contributions to teaching, scholarship, administration, or service. It expresses the fact that, even in retirement, they will remain highly esteemed and valued members of the AKU community. This year's recipients of the title Professor Emeritus or Professor Emerita are Dr. Robert Armstrong, who led the remarkable growth and success of the Medical College East Africa for 10 years as its founding dean. Dr. Iqtidar A. Khan, a highly respected pediatrician, researcher, and educator who has provided invaluable mentorship to generations of faculty members and students. Dr. Mohammed Ata-Ullah Khan, a skilled researcher, a valued teacher, and a master clinician whose patients treasure both his compassion and his expertise. Dr. Shaista Masood Khan, whose leadership was essential in establishing the university's breast surgery fellowship and the hospital's comprehensive breast care program. Dr. Mohammed Mehman, who shaped AKU's Institute for Educational Development, Pakistan, as its director for more than a decade, and whose expertise and advice government policymakers continue to value highly. Dr. David Taylor, who advanced the quality of AKU's academic programs through his dedicated service as Vice Provost, Interim Provost, and Director of the Institute for the Study of Muslim Civilizations in London. Dr. Ruxana W. Zubairi, who has led the establishment and enhancement of numerous academic programs, including the Family Medicine Residency Program and the Master of Health Professions Education. The award of distinction is given to individuals who have made lasting contributions to the development of the university. This year's recipients of the award of distinction are Dr. Rafat Jan for her pioneering leadership in the field of nursing and midwifery. This includes her service as founding director of AKU's undergraduate midwifery program, as founding president of the Midwifery Association of Pakistan, and as the first nurse president of the Pakistan Nursing Council. Dr. Iftikhar Salahuddin for his leadership in establishing the specialty of otolaryngology, head and neck surgery at the Aga Khan University Hospital, as well as the ENT residency program, and for the revered training and mentorship he has provided to generations of medical students and surgeons. The Award of Excellence in Teaching and Teaching Leadership recognizes exemplary classroom teaching and educational leadership that enhances teaching excellence within the university. This year's recipient of the Award of Excellence in Teaching and Teaching Leadership is Dr. Mohammed Tariq. Dr. Tariq has advanced the quality of medical education at AKU as an award-winning teacher and by skillfully restructuring the curricula of multiple postgraduate training programs. We are grateful to all of our award recipients for their exemplary service over many years. Congratulations to you all, and thank you.
Thank you, Provost Amrine. We have now heard from our Chancellor, our Chief Guest, our President, and our Provost. Now it's time to turn the microphone over to the graduates. I call upon Scovia Masudio, a student of the School of Nursing and Midwifery in Uganda, and Anna Messon, a student of the Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery program at the Medical College in Pakistan, to deliver the valedictory speeches.
Graduates of 2020, the Provost, the University Administration, honored guests, family, friends, and well-wishers. We are so honored to have you all here on this beautiful and auspicious occasion as we celebrate the dawn of an important chapter in our lives. My name is Kovia Masudio, and I am so honored to be representing the class of 2020 today. I thank God for the grace and preservation of our lives that we are here today witnessing an important milestone in our lives. Despite the numerous disruptions and setbacks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we have persevered and we stand proud today as we declare ourselves champions. I come from a family of 10 siblings and several cousins. My father, God rest his soul, finally attained his first degree at the age of 58. He told me, "My daughter, I don't have money, neither am I much educated. But what I can tell you is that if I have managed to get my degree at this age, then nothing can ever stop you from achieving your dreams." He said, "You must go back to school. I want those that classified me as a failure to know that great people have emerged from my family." Alas, here I am today, the first girl from a long line of my family to graduate with a degree. That is history made for me. Small as it is, today is a dream manifesting into reality. I did not achieve this on my own. I am here today because of each and every one of you. Thank you, the university administration, the faculties and school staff. You never gave up on us. You guided and nurtured us so diligently, and now it is our time to blossom. To family and friends, thank you for the endless sacrifices you made to ensure that this day comes to pass. To my classmates, thank you for the inspiration and encouragement. To the Johnson & Johnson Scholarship Scheme, words alone can't express our gratitude. Thank you very much. We all have dreamt and eagerly waited for the Convocation Day, and it has finally arrived. But what happens after today? What does your degree or diploma mean to you? Is it going to be another piece of paper to add to your living room decorations? What are you going to do with what you have got from Aga Khan University? To the nurses and midwives, are we just excited about becoming nursing or midwifery officers? What impact will your qualification have on the lives and training of your colleagues at work who did not have the opportunity to go back to school? We have been empowered and are now being set free into the world, battle-tested and ready to serve humanity as agents of change through our various disciplines. We have received the training and skills to be the best we can be out there, but are we prepared to deal with failure? I am not saying that you will be a failure, but this is life. It is never a straight and smooth path. It is filled with hills and rough terrains and unexpected curveballs. You will apply for jobs and never get called back. You will try to save that mother bleeding and she will die. How will you deal with all this? Remember, no one is perfect. Every time we fall, we get an opportunity to rise stronger and wiser to deal with what made us fall. The number of times you fall doesn't matter. It is the number of times you refuse to stay on the ground that counts. Failure should never hold you back. It should instead ignite fire in you to want to learn a better way to handle the same problem. The first semester was tough on me. I did not perform as I expected. Coupled with the loss of my father, I was so discouraged and almost gave up. Well, here I am today. I decided that I am not a quitter, and neither are you. This is a moment to shine. Go and make a difference in the world. Make use of every opportunity that comes your way. If the opportunities are not there, create them yourself. You will discover that you have more potential and capability than you give credit to yourself. You are unstoppable. You have all you need to rewrite your history. Create your own legacy. Put passion and dedication in everything you do. Face all your fears with boldness and encouragement. Turn your weak points into your strongest. Be the best version of yourself every day. Thank you and good luck to you all. Congratulations, class of 2020. God bless you.
The Chancellor, Honorable Chief Guest, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow graduates, the Aga Khan class of 2020, or as a friend once jokingly called us, the Aga Khan class of COVID. This may be an unconventional ceremony. We may be sitting here with masks with our loved ones hundreds of miles away. But let me tell you all, even a global pandemic could not stop us from graduating. So congratulations, AKU class of 2020, you did it. We all finally did it. Before reflecting on all that we are celebrating, I want you all to picture a few very true stories. Aisha is a 4-year-old girl in a village in Pakistan. She is not learning or laughing at school. She is on the ground sweeping floors. She is just one of 22.5 million uneducated children in Pakistan. Simone is an orphan a few days old in Tanzania. Her mother died bleeding on a bus in labor. Tanzania has amongst the highest maternal mortality in the world. Jakuna is a resident nurse in Murang, Kenya. He is the only healthcare provider for 8,000 people. The WHO recommends at least 25 nurses for 10,000 people. Kenya barely has 8. I know this is a rather grim note to start such a joyous occasion on. However, it is with a purpose that I am sharing all of these stories. Today, all of you in this beautiful green regalia are not only celebrating your hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifices, and accomplishments, you are celebrating so much more. You are celebrating the hope that you symbolize for Aisha, for Simone, for Jakuna, for the thousands of others. You are celebrating being change makers and leaders in a world that needs you, in nations that built you, and when we're facing our worst humanitarian crisis in COVID-19. Now, more than ever before, the world needs doctors, nurses, and midwives. It needs educationists and journalists. It needs health systems experts and epidemiologists. It needs men and women like you to change the landscape, to ensure that such suffering ceases to exist, to ensure that we, as nations and as humanity, are better prepared. And why am I so sure that you and I are so instrumental in this change? That's because I have spent 5 years growing old with many of you. I have spent days at the sports center with many of you. I have spent nights hysterically laughing about exams. I have spent hours worrying about that lecture with all of you. And I have learned what the Aga Khan student embodies. It is commitment, it is resilience, it is leadership, it is talent. And there were tougher days. Not all the days were that easy. There were days when we would have a child begging, pleading, crying with us to help ease the pain. There were days where we accidentally wrote EEGs instead of ECGs. That's a true story. So all of those days, the happy, the sad, the grueling, the gratifying, have culminated in a very deserved today and so many memories. And none of them would have been possible without the security guard, without the librarian, the cook, the housekeeping staff, the administrative staff. Thank you for making every day possible. And thank you to the phenomenal faculty. Thank you to the friends like family. And thank you to those who are happier than we are today, to our parents and our loved ones. We couldn't have done this without you. And finally, thank you for the man with the vision, His Highness the Chancellor, who built our futures. Before I end, I want to leave you all with two ideas: family and hope. Today, we are not the Aga Khan University, Nairobi, or Kenya, or UK, or Uganda, or Pakistan. We are simply the Aga Khan University. We are the AKU family, inextricably linked to one another. And like every family, it can be too much at times, but it will always have your back. And today, as we leave the nest, I have the audacity to hope. The hope that if we give it our all, if it is one life that we save, one child that we teach, one story that we change, it is more than enough. It is the hope of a better future together. So let today mark a beginning, not an end. Fellow graduates, especially over this past year, we have been living history. I think it is high time you and I go out there and start making history. So I cannot wait to see all that you achieve. Here is to new beginnings. Thank you.
Thank you, Scovio Masudio and Anamesan. The first portion of our program will now conclude with the always highly anticipated announcement of our student awards. We will begin with East Africa before moving to Pakistan. The School of Nursing and Midwifery in East Africa presents its Award of Excellence to the students with the highest cumulative grade point average in each diploma and degree program in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. In Kenya, the recipients of the Award of Excellence are Caroline Awor Oduor, Post-RN Bachelor of Science in Midwifery with a cumulative GPA of 3.5 out of 4. Dorcas Ngunak Chove, Post-RN Bachelor of Science in Nursing with a cumulative GPA of 3.52 out of 4. In Tanzania, the recipient of the Award of Excellence is Rehab Benjamin, Post-RN Bachelor of Science in Nursing with a cumulative GPA of 3.65 out of 4. In Uganda, the recipients of the Award of Excellence are Atieno Franklin, Diploma in General Nursing with a cumulative GPA of 4.82 out of 5. Senskubuge Samuel, Post-RN Bachelor of Science in Nursing with a cumulative GPA of 4.85 out of 5. Scovio Masudio, Post-RN Bachelor of Science in Midwifery with a cumulative GPA of 4.93 out of 5.
The School of Nursing and Midwifery in Pakistan confers the Best Graduate Award on the undergraduate student who achieves 2 feats. First, they must earn the highest cumulative grade point average among graduating students in the Bachelor of Science in Nursing and Post-RN Bachelor of Science in Nursing programs. Second, they must be the recipient of the Nursing Practice Award, which is given to the graduating student whose clinical and community practice reflect a client-centered approach, distinctive critical thinking and problem-solving abilities, and ethical decision-making. The recipient of the Best Graduate Award from the School of Nursing and Midwifery, Pakistan is Uzma Nizar. Each year, the Medical College in Pakistan confers the Best Graduate Award on one graduating student from the Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery program. The award is presented to the individual who earns the highest aggregate score on the 4 certifying examinations that are conducted over the course of the 5-year MBBS program. More rarely, the Medical College also awards a gold medal. The gold medal is only presented in the event that a student achieves the top score on at least 3 of the 4 certifying examinations, including the final examination. Over the past 32 convocation ceremonies at which MBBS degrees have been granted, only 10 gold medals have been awarded. This year, we will be awarding our 11th gold medal, as well as the Best Graduate Award, to one exceptional student. That student received the highest scores on the examinations held at the end of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th years of the MBBS program. The winner of the Medical College Gold Medal and MBBS Best Graduate Award is Samra Razi.
Kulsum, it has been an absolute pleasure to host the first ever AKU Global Convocation with you.
The pleasure has been all mine, Gitonga.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the first part of our convocation ceremony program. We will now hold 9 individual ceremonies in Pakistan, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda to present the graduates and award winners with their certificates. If you are watching this on convocation.aku.edu, in a moment you should see 9 grey boxes appear, each linking to a different local ceremony. Simply click on the box of your choice below to view that ceremony. You are welcome to switch between the different local ceremonies by clicking on a different box. If you are currently viewing the global ceremony via YouTube, Facebook, or the Ismaili TV, please go to convocation.aku.edu to access the local ceremony you would like to attend. Again, the website is convocation.aku.edu. Thank you all for joining us and making this occasion special for our graduates.
Congratulations to all the graduating students and best wishes to you and your loved ones.